Hey guys, it's Green Zephyr. Today we're going to be looking at the release notes for update 2.8. So let's dive right in. So this is the Scorpius update, and so they are adding in 3 Scorpius Rexes from Camp Cretaceous, which they're adding Gen 1, Gen 2, and our first Gen 3. And so Gen 2 is the epic, Gen 1 is legendary, and Gen 3 is unique. And so now we're going to look at the new creatures. So our first one is Albertosaurus. So I'm going to read the descriptions and information about him. Though this tyrannosaurid is a top predator in its own ecosystems, the Albertosaurus is much smaller than its relative, the Tyrannosaurus rex. Paleontologists believe this may have led the Albertosaurus to work together in packs like wolves. More observation by the DPG is required. And so it is going to be a fierce anti-tank creature. So the moves, we got Fierce Strike, Killer Instinct, and Fierce Impact. Our next creature is Argentavis. This soaring Cenozoic creature is among the largest birds to ever fly. With a wingspan of 6 meters or more, it covers hundreds of kilometers per day in search of carrion. DPG members have even observed Argentavis using its aerial advantage to chase powerful predators like Smilodon from their kills. So it is a cunning creature, and it's a dodger. So its moves are Distraction, Fearless Flap, and Evasive Impact. Then our next rare, Dinotherium. So we got another elephant type creature. So this gentle giant is one of the largest mammals to ever walk the earth. Standing 4 to 5 meters tall, the Dinotherium has a shorter, stockier trunk than modern elephants. Its inverted tusks may seem strange to some DPG members, but this orientation helps the Dinotherium strip bark and break branches from trees during feeding. So it's a wild card, and it's a supporter. So its moves are Superiority Strike, Ferocious Impact, and Instant Rumble. So that's interesting. Then our first hybrid here, we have Andrewtherium. So that's a second Andrewsarchus hybrid, and that's the hybrid with Andrewsarchus and Dinotherium. So many believe Andrewtherium's hybrid parent Andrewsarchus is a genetic relative of the modern-day hippopotamus. The unique behavior of the Andrewtherium may support this theory. When wading or crossing waters, this hybrid naturally uses its short trunk like a snorkel, keeping it above water even when the rest of its head is submerged. So it's another wild card creature, and it's a rending attacker. Okay, it does have rend. So it has no escape, group cleansing strike, ferocious strike, group warning squeal, and rending attack. Is that just a generic rending attack? I don't even know. Then, our first Scorpius Rex Gen 2, which is an epic. So now it's revealed what it is created from. Its ingredients are Monolophosaurus Gen 2 and Carnotaurus. So, little is known about the full capabilities of the Scorpius Rex Gen 2 or the powers of its venom. Records on the hybrid's creation have been bizarrely erased. Whatever it was, the genetic variations seem to have also given this creature its eerie gray hue. So Scorpius Rex Gen 2 is fierce and cunning ambusher. So it has a defensive swap in, and its moves are Cunning Strike, Strike and Run, Fierce Impact, Quill Impact. Then we have Magisticurus, which is kind of sad how dark this picture is, and it's a legendary. Ingredients, Magistitherium and Doedicurus. So this is Magistitherium's first hybrid. The hybrid Magisticurus is more playful and nurturing than its hybrid parent Magistitherium. This creature has even been observed by DPG members rolling around in playful somersault behavior with other pack members. So it is a fierce and resilient anti-tank creature. So it has no escape and a swap-in Shattering Strike. And then its moves are Fierce Strike, Group Shield, Resilient Impact, and Defensive Rending Attack. Then we have Scutophysion, which is created from Amphision and Scutosaurus. So Amphision's first hybrid, at least I think so. The powerful forelegs of this hybrid make it a swift runner with a very unique set of tracks. These forelegs also make Scutifiscion a great digger, a skill that comes in handy when burrowing after evasive prey or fashioning dens for overnight lodging. So it is fierce and resilient as well. It has no escape. They really like adding no escape to these creatures. And then its moves are Cleansing Strike, Revenge, Fierce Impact, Revenge Protection, and Decelerating Rampage. Then we have Centamoth, which is Centausaurus' first hybrid with Woolly Mammoth. And the Centamoth inherited its large cranial crest from its hybrid parent Centausaurus. This crest gives the Centamoth's trumpeting calls a unique range of pitches that confuse other pachyderms. Members of the same Centamoth herd, however, can recognize these calls from miles away. It's a wild card, and it's a supporter. So it has Persistent Ferocious Strike, Group Cleansing Impact, Group Heal, and Group Decelerating Impact. Then our second Scorpius Rex, Gen 1, which is a legendary. So this one is Purutorus mixed with Monolophosaurus. This vicious hybrid takes the name Scorpius from the venomous quills she sports on her tail. The Scorpius Rex can eject these quills at will, spraying them in all directions when she goes in for the attack. So it is cunning and fierce, and it has critical ambush swap in, and then its moves are Fierce Strike, Cunning Impact, Camouflage, and Lethal Quill Shot. Then we have the unique Scorpius Rex Gen 3, which is combined with the Gen 2 Scorpius Rex with Gorgosaurus. And you can see in the image it has crests just like Gorgosaurus, so it's going to look slightly different from the other gens of Scorpius Rex. Almost nothing is known of the mysterious Scorpius Rex Gen 3 or the initial genetic processes used to create her. It is said that, like the original Scorpius Rex, this unique hybrid is drawn to bright light and heat, sometimes skulking in the shadows just beyond the light's limits. And it is cunning and fierce as well. Then it has Critical Ambush swap in, and its moves are Fierce Strike, Instant Ambush, Cunning Rampage, and Toxic Quills. Then we have our apexes, Host Maximus. This apex eagle is a terrific sight to see soaring through the skies. Fear the precise powers of the Host Maximus, acme of the birds of prey. So it is a cunning critical sniper. So, obstruction of flight, passive. Then its moves are Predatory Peck, Fearless Flap, Piercing Screech, and Ravenous Rampage. Then our second apex, Hydra Boa. This gargantuan boa is named after the many-headed serpent slain by Heracles in Greek myth. The name was chosen by InGen scientists due to a special characteristic of the massive snake's scales. Unlike those of other species, the scales of the Hydra boa's head and neck grow thicker and brighter each time the snake molts, as if the creature were growing a new head each time. And Hydra Boa is a cunning critical accuracy attacker. So it has Constricting Rampage, passive, so you don't want to swap while fighting against one of these. And Alert Deception, that looks like a counterattack. Then its moves are Instant Nullifying Strike, Slippery Alert, Precise Impact, and Fabled Fangs. So it got some wound. Then our new abilities, Obstruction to Flight. When an opponent attempts to leave, it is swap prevented 1 turn. Self. Cleanse. Gain 10% speed lasting 1 turn. Gain 25% critical chance for 1 attack lasting 2 turns. Then Piercing Screech. Priority. All allies and self. Cleanse. Gain 10% speed for 1 turn. Gain 20% critical chance lasting 2 turns. All opponents. Reduce target's damage 50% for 4 attacks lasting 2 turns. Cooldown of 3. Predatory Peck. Lowest HP opponent. Attack 1 times. Self. 75% chance to dodge 66.7% of damage for 2 attacks lasting 1 turn. Gain 10% speed for 2 turns. Ravenous Rampage. Priority. Highest damage opponent. Remove dodge and cloak. Attack 2 times. Delay 1, cooldown 2. So we basically have instant rampage like Phorosaur and Maiasaura, but it has a delay. Toxic Quills. Highest damage opponent, attack 1.5 times, 75% chance to stun for 1 turn. When surviving direct damage, target receives 0.33 times damage over time for 3 turns, cooldown 3. Lethal Quill Shot. Highest damage opponent, attack 1.5 times, reduce damage by 50% for 4 attacks lasting 2 turns. When surviving direct damage, target receives 0.25 times damage over time for 2 turns. Delay 1, cooldown 2. Instant Ambush. Priority. Self. Gain 30% speed for 2 turns. Gain 50% critical for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. 75% chance to dodge 66.7% of damage for 2 attacks lasting 1 turn. Highest damage opponent. Reduce damage by 50% for 2 attacks lasting 1 turn. Cooldown 2. Group Cleansing Impact. All allies and self. Cleanse. Lowest HP opponent. Attack 1.5 times. Cooldown 2. Group Warning Squeal. Priority. All allies and self. Gain shield 50% for 4 attacks for this turn. Gain 20% critical chance for 2 turns. Gain 25% damage increase for 2 turns. High speed opponent. Reduce speed 50% for 2 turns. Cooldown 3. Fabled Fangs. Priority. Precise. Highest damage opponent. Attack 1.5 times. When surviving direct damage, target receives 0.4 times damage over time for 2 turns. Delay 1, cooldown 3. Killer Instinct. Priority. Lowest HP opponent. Remove shields and taunt. Attack 1.5 times bypassing armor. Delay 1, cooldown 1. So that's pretty cool for Albertosaurus. Priority. Fierce attack. Instant Nullifying Strike. Priority. Lowest HP opponent. Remove all positive effects on target. Attack 1 times. Constricting Rampage. Contextual Swap Prevent. When opponent attempts to leave, attack 2 times. Self. Heal 1 times HP. Revenge Fierce Impact. Clint's Vulnerable. Lowest HP opponent. Remove taunt. Destroy all shields. Bypass armor and attack 1.5 times. Cooldown 1. Revenge. Self. Cleanse Vulnerable. Lowest HP opponent. Remove taunt. Destroy all shields. Bypass armor and attack 2 times. Cooldown 1. Defensive Rending Attack. Highest HP opponent. Destroy shields. Steal 40% of target's max HP as armor piercing damage. Self. Gain shields 50% for 1 turn. Delay 1. Cooldown 2. Defensive Swap In. Self. Gain 30% speed for 2 turns. 75% chance to dodge 66.7% of damage for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns after swapping in. Unable to swap for 2 turns. Highest damage opponent. Reduce damage by 50% for 2 attacks lasting 1 turn. Critical Ambush. Self. Gain 30% speed for 2 turns. Gain 50% critical for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. 75% chance to dodge 66.7% of damage for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns after swapping in. Unable to swap for 2 turns. Highest damage opponent. Reduce damage by 50% for 2 attacks lasting 1 turn. Slippery Alert. While secure. Self. Cleanse. Gain 50% chance to dodge 66.7% of damage for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. Gain 50% critical chance for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. Highest damage opponent. Reduce damage by 50% for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. Damn, not 50. Cooldown 2. While threatened. Self. Cleanse. Gain 75% chance to dodge 66.7% of damage for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. Gain 50% critical chance for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. Highest damage opponent. Reduce damage by 50% for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. Cooldown 2. Alert Deception. While secure. Self. Gain 15% attack damage for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. While threatened. Gain 20% attack damage for 2 attacks lasting 2 turns. Instant Rumble. Priority. Self. Gain shield 50% for 4 attacks for this turn. Gain 20% critical chance for 2 turns. Gain 25% damage increase for 2 turns. High speed opponent. Reduce speed 50% for 2 turns. Cooldown 3. And now they're adding drone high score. So basically you're going to get to see your highest amount that you've ever darted on these creatures. Hopefully it will save your data of what you've scored before before the update came. and then it says that you'll see how much you improved by if you get a new high score, and you can check out your high scores in the lab. The next new feature is recruit your friends. So you can access the recruit tab in the social menu and tap the recruit a friend button to get a link to send to a friend outside Jurassic World Alive. You can recruit up to 3 friends who are either new to Jurassic World Alive or who are currently under player level 5 and inactive for 3 months. So I don't know why they'd ever want to play again, because all my friends that are super inactive, like, no. When your friend joins, you will become their mentor, and both of you will collect rewards when the recruit reaches certain player level milestones. You can track your progress as a mentor or recruit in the recruit tab. If you are a recruited player, you can also recruit other players and become a mentor to them. And then the new news center. So basically they're updating the news tab. So now everything is more detail, and you can click on something and it will show, like in this picture, you can see a lot more detail without having to go to the forum. And my huge problem here, just like in their Google Play, like on the Google Play Store, when you look through all their images, they're all like horribly wrong, like Velociraptor being an epic or something, I don't know, stuff like that. New raid bosses right here. Tyrannosaurus Rex boss instead of Tyrannosaurus, and Pyroraptor boss. Well, we don't have one of those, but you know. Okay, then our new raid bosses. So we get 4 new raid bosses. So first of all, we get Scorpius Rex on June 17th, and Megalosuchus leaves. So then our newest rare raid boss is Bahatosaurus, and that will join on June 21st. Then Host Maximus will join on July 3rd, and Hydroboa will be added August 1st. Then our new achievements. Learning to aim. Have a drone darting a high score of 100 or more on 20 creatures. Good aim. Have a drone darting high score of 100 or more on 80 creatures. Advanced aim. Have a drone darting high score of 200 or more on 60 creatures. Expert aim. Have a drone darting high score of 300 or more on 40 creatures. Young mentor. Have 1 recruit complete relationship milestone 1. Evolving mentor. Have 3 recruits complete relationship milestone 1. Established mentor. Have 1 recruit complete relationship milestone 5. Veteran mentor. Have 3 recruits complete relationship milestone 5. Then what's improved? So here's the early game improvements. So after the first drone session, Claire now gives players an encouraging message that handling your drone can be difficult at first, but gets easier with practice. And the opponent Tarbosaurus has been removed from the first campaign mission to provide a more exciting battle. The campaign now tells players exactly how far they must go in order to unlock PvP battle. And I don't know if they mean raids or PvP, I'm a little unclear on that, but I think it's a typo, but I'm not entirely sure. And the red check button in the player profile image selection screen has been replaced with a green confirmation button to let players know exiting the screen will confirm their choice. And ability updates. To avoid confusion, Cunning Group Strike has been renamed Cleansing Group Cunning Strike. And matchmaking changes. So complete BS. Now everything is solely based on your opponent's current trophy balance, and they don't care about power score, although it was already that way for the leagues. But I like the 30-30, not the 20-40. That's BS. Anyway, and then what's fixed? So they fixed 221 bugs. They're only listing a few of them that they've fixed. So Compsognathus Aura visual effects is no longer the wrong color for its rarity. And an AR snake creatures can now be interacted with and no longer appears above the camera, which is really amazing. I was disappointed when I found out I couldn't look at any of the snakes in there to make YouTube videos. In raids, Erlikagama boss creature is now set to cunning instead of fierce, which I didn't even notice. Flock dinos are no longer missing holograms after max attempts on ESD. And they're still working on RAID boss hitboxes are too large. Apple device players may receive offline push notifications while online. RAID invite push notifications are only in English, which is false. I get Spanish ones all the time for whatever reason. Icons and buttons are all displayed on screen after drone session or opening incubators on a 1 gig Apple device. Bottom of the page will display a copyright string 2021 Google on Apple iPad Pro. Expired DNA donation requests remain in Alliance chat. Tooltip stats information are not updated as soon as their associated buff debuff has ended in raids, which is, kind of sad, although it's also that way in PvP, especially with distraction. So that is it for the update. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you want to. See you next time.